diabetes. Then we have type 2 diabetes. Then we have other forms of diabetes. Then other forms of diabetes, that's where you have entities like gestational diabetes mellitus. That's diabetes diagnosed for the first time in pregnancy. Then we also have what we call MODY, maturity onset diabetes of the young, where you diagnose diabetes in somebody who is less than 25 years of age with a strong family history. That is MODY, maturity diabetes of the young. Understand? Currently, 8% of Nigerians are diabetic.
If
we're 100 here, 8 of us, amongst us here,
sir, this is the church. This is the church. Say 8% of people.
8% of people, yes, sorry.
Is that being hypocritical?
Yes, 8% of Nigerians population is diabetic, which were all part of incidental.
We are the church. I choose to stay on the church side. Hallelujah. So when I checked the research yesterday, I looked at the progression of diabetes in young people. Before now, diabetes used to be sickness of the older persons, right?
Exactly.
And now you're having, like you said, MOD, right? Which one is that?
I said MODY, maturity onset diabetes of the young.
Maturity onset diabetes. Wow. SHA is young people it affects, right?
Exactly.
So I looked at the progression. As 20, 30 years ago, it was just 2% of young people that experienced diabetes. And as of today, it is up to 8%. That's how many percent increase? Who can tell me that? How many percent increase is that in the past 30 years? 800. From 2% to 8%. 400% within 30 years. And statistics even says that I think to get to like 11 point something percent in the next 20 years. Okay, so we'll come back to that because we'll need to understand why that happens. So, Pastor Christian, you're a medical laboratory scientist. You get to interact with patients every now and then, right? Okay, so please, can you use the mic?
Yes.
You get to interact. So, how do we test if someone is a diabetic? So for point of emphasis, anybody that is said to have diabetes, the person is addressed as a diabetic. Somebody say diabetic. Okay, so that you understand. So, sir, please, what test can be carried out?
Okay. You see, for you to diagnose or for you to establish that this person has diabetes, it has to be a laboratory test.
So, sir, sorry.
Yes, yeah.
You know, there are people that say, when they urinate and they see their urine, you're going there, right?
Yes, I was going to
Some people will say, I've had funny experiences. My sugar don't high.
Yes, because we must put things in proper perspective. Growing up, we have myths and old wives' tales about diabetes. But for you to diagnose or for you to establish that one has diabetes, you must have been tested with the test, fasting blood sugar. You must have had a high glucose level, hyperglycemia, more than once.
More
it's
than
not a one-off
once.
thing, yes.
So if I go to
Minimum
the
of
laboratory
twice, yes.
today,
Yes.
and what's the reference range for fasting blood sugar?
Okay. Reference, when we say reference is particular to your entity, your race. We have the ranges given by World Health Organization. Then we have the range that is tailored fit to your geographical entity race.
Geographical entity like Asaba?
Asaba, yes.
Okay.
Like here, FMC did a study and came up with a range of 3.0 to 7.0 millimole per liter.
Please, are we conversant with that range?
That's the unit.
Hold on, sir. Let's ask. Please, people of God, are you conversant with that range? When you say you go to do a blood sugar test, so can you give us the other SI unit?
Yes. The thing is this.
So
even it's just like saying centimeters and meters. That's like saying 60 to 126 milligram per DL.
So is that what we understand now? So we know the milligram
it's
per
just like
DL.
saying centimeters and meters. The one that WHO has said is the standard is the earlier unit I gave.
60, between 60 and 120. So there is the fasting blood sugar and then there's... I want to ask everybody, how many of you have done a blood sugar test? Wave your hands to the Lord. you've done. So this is less than 50% of the church. And you know what research says? Despite the statistics of persons that are living with diabetics, there's a greater percentage of undiagnosed diabetes. Undiagnosed in the sense that people are not going to get tested. People are living with increased blood sugar and they are not even aware. As a church, we have to be aware. Praise God. So he said fasting blood sugar 60 to 120. And fasting blood sugar is the measurement of your glucose level when you have not eaten.
Yes. More than once.
More, I was coming to that.
Once you get 110, because in some places, once it's 110, it is tagged, this person, this is hyperglycemia, that is high sugar.
High sugar.
So I am speaking with reference to Asaba. WHO puts it around 100
okay, so we'll
milligrams
stick to Asaba. So if I do a blood sugar test once and it is high, does that mean I'm diabetic?
No, more than once.
So you said
twice.
more than once.
Yes.
So I just repeated that for emphasis. So if you do a blood sugar test once and you see that it's high, there may be factors that would have increased that blood sugar at that time. So it has to be done up to how many times before someone is certified a diabetic?
If it is up to 2 times, it's sufficient enough.
Up to 2
times? Yes, if it's twice, it's sufficient enough. It's a
okay.
red flag
So now let's assume that someone has been diagnosed and he's already labeled a diabetic. What are the other tests that person needs to do? Because if we want to look at medical terms, that person is already compromised, right?
He's already diabetic.
Dr. James, is you that will help us to explain compromise, though? But Pastor Christian, can you just tell us?
Okay. Now, for the person is, if I could get your question right, the person is a diabetic.
Yes, diabetic. So what other tests, apart from the glucose test?
That can use is it for monitoring? Because you have to look at the basis, you have to look at the goal.
I said the person is already compromised, so what can the person now do?
Is it for monitoring? Is it for to monitoring or adjunct tests? Because you look at much it has been diagnosed. So is it to maintain the patient?
Sam, you are talking to the people of God, not me, not
your colleague. I need to get your question so I can answer rightly.
Okay, assume that you are talking to the general populace. Mm-hmm. Okay. This person, I don't do people go say, I don't do lab. Please don't do that.
Okay, now let me tell you this. I must actually lay the facts straight. That is why I like questions being asked. I want to know if we're on the right page.
Just talk to us.
Let me just tell us this. Once you are diagnosed, you have no right managing your health yourself. You cannot be the judge in your own case. A banker goes to the bank. You have financial problem, you go to the bank. You have a legal issue, you go to the lawyer. You have a spiritual problem. We have all our senior pastors here, Pastor Andrew. So what am I saying? That if you've been diagnosed a diabetic, you should visit your doctor. You should maintain your checks to your doctor. Now, the other tests the doctor would send you for. Number 1, your EUC, electrolytes, urea, and creatinine. Lipid profile, because there's a link between triglyceride levels, this lipidemia.
Isa, please, what is EUC? What is lipid profile?
Electrolytes, urea, and creatinine.
Can you state the organs that these tests
electrolyte, urea, creatinine is erroneously linked to kidneys, but no. It's beyond the kidneys. It's your metabolic panel at a glance. Do you understand? So it is like...
Sorry, sir. Children of God. If you are with us, say I.
Good.
Okay. Thank you. Celebrate yourself.
I trust our folks. Okay. So the doctor will send you for kidney function tests. Lipid profile test is for your fat levels, just as limited. Then glycated hemoglobin. Then also test for microalbuminuria. Now, let me lay emphasis on glycated hemoglobin. Glycated hemoglobin tests, HbA1c, as you would say, is the gold standard, internationally recognized as the gold standard for maintaining diabetic patients, or monitoring them. And why is it so important? It's a test that is reflective of how you've been managed in the past few months, a quarter, and is predictive how you will turn out in the next 3 months. You can see how important it is. So that stands out for me amongst other tests. There are other tests they can send you for ECG, urinalysis, which is important, but in a nutshell, I don't take too much time. Those are the tests.
Okay, so let's go over it again. You said
okay, the doctor will send you.
For
remember,
EUC.
Look at what I'm saying. I'm very specific. Not the pharmacist will send you. Not your friend who studied medical biochemistry.
Or Google.
I know these things. I know.
Okay.
You understand
so just
now?
for emphasis and
For
time.
emphasis, it is good we emphasize this. I say, my friend, chemist sent me. Chemist did this for me.
So number one, EUC.
Yes.
That's the kidney function test.
Electrolyte, urea, creatinine.
Yes.
I don't like to call it kidney function. It's an error if we call it kidney function test.
Okay, electrolyte, urea, creatinine. Shortened as EUC.
That's what the doctor said.
Then they send for
send
lipid
for other
profile.
kidney parameters like microalbuminuria test or microalbumin test or urine albumin creatinine ratio.
Okay, sir, I think at this point, let's wait for people to get to the doctor so that
the doctor will just send you for.
Sorry?
Yes.
You see, so basically, what we're trying to say is that for a diagnosed diabetic, there will be other tests that the doctor will require you to take, right? Because at that point, if diabetes is not well managed, other organs can be affected. The total metabolism is simply how your body functions. It can be affected. Are we together now? Is there any ambiguity? No, not anymore.
Can I just try something? It doesn't stop you from on your own doing a blood sugar test.
Okay. How many of us have this? We have this point of care testing now. This glucometer that we can check with. How many of us have it? Okay, very good. These are conscious, very, very conscious people. Dr. James, you talked about genes, heredity, and all. So is diabetes hereditary? And can you break it down for us? How? Okay, just break it down for us before I continue.
Right. Okay. There are a lot of factors responsible for predisposing or leading one to. When I mean predisposing, it's a simple English. It's not like a medical term. That has tendency of leading one to diabetes.
So someone can take it from their parents?
Exactly. Yes, so there are a lot of things. Genetics can play a very strong role. So if you have a family history, in your family, mother, father, or any of your relatives had diabetes, particularly your immediate family members, there's a strong propensity or strong likelihood of an offspring of you coming down with diabetes. So if you have if someone has a diabetic father or diabetic mother, it's often encouraged that person has to do a lot of lifestyle modification, which I'm going to talk about. Understand? So, and also be on the watch out. So there's every likelihood of that person coming down with diabetes if your father is diabetic or mother is diabetic. So that's for the genetic aspect. Then the other top environmental factors, which are playing a very strong role currently in people coming down with diabetes. So we talk about lifestyle and diet. Obesity is a huge factor. Understand? Particularly for type 2 diabetes. Understand? Like now, if you compare our diet to the diet of our parents, our diet is a little bit more westernized. Our diet is a bit more refined sugars. You get a point? Our parents...
Examples of refined sugars, please.
Very good. Like fructose. Understand? Like, for instance, we take a lot of soft drink. Understand? We have a lot of carbonated drinks. Understand? We have a lot of high-calorie meals. Understand? We have a lot of junk meals. That's the one we can easily understand. Imagine somebody, your breakfast is pizza. Understand? And you eat almost every time your ice cream and all the rest. Those ones are high calorie.
So they are all classes of refined sugars. So what about our staple food? Is there anyone that predisposes us to?
Very good. All right. Our staple foods, they are carbohydrate based. But the simple thing, why our parents ate those staple foods, but why didn't they come down with diabetes?
So what is
that's
the difference?
The trick. Yeah. Very good. Our parents lived more healthy lifestyle compared to us. They lived less sedentary lifestyle. We are more sedentary.
What's sedentary?
Understand? Sedentary is that you are sitting, you tend to you are less inactive, you are more inactive, you are less mobile. Understand? Imagine our parents, understand? Let me do a reflection, understand? Most of our parents were more active. Most of them were farmers or so. In the morning, they go to farm. Distance, they trek, understand? Or they take their bicycles and they go to distance, understand? They eat their breakfast, they eat their lunch, understand? Even some of our parents, they told us stories. So our parents who are educated, when they come back from school, they join their fathers in the farm. You get the point? They eat there and come back. So imagine someone now, you'll be here. For you to trek to that distance, you're going to use your car. No. It's not going to help you.
Even climbing staircase.
Exactly. So we are very sedentary. Understand? Nothing precludes you or prevents you from even deliberate. In fact, I'm going to talk about something about diabetes. Understand? Diabetes is about a deliberate lifestyle change or modification.
So, sir, because of our time,
yes.
Does it mean that glucose here is not the culprit? Are we saying that glucose is innocent? Pastor Christian, just 1 minute. Is glucose the real culprit here from what Dr. James has said?
The thing is this, from the beginning it was not so. God made everything good. He said he made everything, and he saw that it was good. Where glucose has been abused, let me put it that way. There's a general saying that too much of everything is bad. So glucose is not the culprit. The culprit is our lifestyle choices. I think that's the basic culprit.
So our lifestyle choices. So not just the